Hello, my name is Adam Herring, and I will be giving my speech for my justification and recommendation report. To start off, the topic of my speech is how the facility manager at my church did not set up the sound system, and it caused just a huge inconvenience for the entire church and everyone who attended the event that the sound system was not set up for. The general purpose for this is to inform my preacher on how to solve this problem effectively. The specific purpose for this is to inform the preacher how to solve the problem and create a positive impact on the church. So for my introduction, the facility manager at Hartwell First United Methodist Church did not fully perform his job to have the sound system set up before an event scheduled time. And for my attention grabber, I chose a quote that I found. I think it's a nice quote that goes along with what my recommendation report was pretty much over. It goes, "Of all the life skills available to us, communication is perhaps the most empowering." And that was said by Brett Morrison, who is an actor. And the thesis for my speech is that the facility manager failed to do his job and have the sound system set up on an event scheduled time, which I mentioned earlier. For the preview, the facility manager failed to do his job, but we can solve this problem through three soft skills. Those three soft skills being communication, time management, and leadership. To transition into my first solution is that this problem can be solved different ways. The first way being to communicate with the facility manager. So communication is an important soft skill to have no matter who you are. I feel like anybody, if you have good communication, you can do a lot of things with that. A face-to-face meeting could be the best thing to do because you can explain the problem and get immediate feedback right there. It's real time, real feedback. And also, communicating in a proper, efficient way could lead to a positive impact on the organization. And I get the quote I used, or I paraphrased it, but the quote I used was from the publication by Peggy Claus. And she states in a publication, which I paraphrased, the problems rarely stemmed from a shortfall in technical expertise, but from shortcoming with communication behaviors. And one pro of doing communication is that it is a professional way of letting the facility manager know the problem. It's real time, like I stated earlier, so like you get all the feedback immediately. But one con of communication is that you would have to schedule a meeting and they might not be able to make the meeting, or they might just not show up in general, which that'd be a big deal if they didn't show up. And finally, the cost for communication is time, but that really depends on like the length of the meeting and how long you meet up with them and describe the problem and just how long it takes to work everything out. Now transitioning into my second one, another way to solve this problem is through time management, which I mentioned earlier. Time management is another soft skill for success in the workplace. The facility manager could have managed his time better by working with the company to have the sound system set up. And managing your time unwisely could end up hurting the organization. He needs to work with the company and prepare for the event accordingly. Time management is an important soft skill that can help with working together with others. And as Goldman states in one of his books, which in this quote is referring to employees, it's that 4 in 10 employees are not able to work with fellow employees. And I feel like that's an alarming stat because 4 out of 10, that's almost half of the sample size. So I feel like that really speaks volume of how many people struggle working with other people. And one pro of this solution, time management, would be that they can be prepared for unexpected issues. While one con is that the employee may think he is doing more than his job requires. And the cost for this is time again. A lot of these are gonna have time as the cost because you need time to do most things, or all things. The cost for this is time, depending on how they manage it. Now for going into my third, transitioning to my third solution, which is the final solution to this problem, could be leadership. Leadership can also help lead to successful workplaces. The facility manager could have called the company to ensure everything was set up properly. Good leadership is one soft skill that is important in the workplace. Goldman also states in another publication that he published that a primary task of leadership is to direct attention. To do so, leaders must learn to focus their own attention. And I feel like that's a good quote. That pretty much puts into perspective how crucial leadership is in the workplace. One pro of this solution is that he could have delegated the responsibility and not have been fully responsible. But also, the con is the person he delegated may have failed to do their responsibility, and it still would have fell back on the facility manager. So either way, he would be in charge of the responsibility, but it might not be as much as it wouldn't be as much as if he didn't do that because it would fall on the other person too. But the cost of this is negligible considering how they approach their leadership role and how they work together. And now transitioning into my conclusion, now that I've given my three solutions, let's review. The conclusion and recommendation. The problem with the facility manager not fulfilling his duty could be solved with three potential solutions involving soft skills. The three solutions were, once again, communication, time management, and leadership. Although all solutions seem effective, I think that communication would be the best solution. When we can communicate effectively, we can have a positive impact on the organization. And I also have my visual aid. It's got communication, some words on here, time management, leadership. I got the picture, which is a graph, and it shows how crucial communication is in the workplace. I got a picture for time management and a picture for leadership. And I think that just puts into perspective really good what I was talking about.